hey, we need to enjoy it. We need to live our lives. Like, what's saving? What's that? Hi guys, welcome back to another finance discussion. My name is Lindy and this is Tando, and together we are Skilled Finances. For those of you that are joining us for the first time, we are so excited to have you here with us. If you're not already doing so, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell. That way you don't miss out on any new discussions that we're having. Make sure you're following us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, whichever platform you use to catch our podcast. And also make sure you're following us on our Instagram. That's at Skilled Finances.
Yeah, so today we're having a very interesting discussion. Now, usually in this personal finance space, you really kind of get two schools of thought which sound like they're a contradiction against each other. So the first thought is, listen, tomorrow is not promised today. Spend your money, enjoy yourself, and just kind of see what happens in the future. Whereas on the other side, you then have like, no, be more wise with your money, save and invest for the future. Let's put our money aside to make sure that we will have, wealth and financial independence in the future
Right.
at some point. Now, here's the thing. There is always this kind of tension between those two schools of thought, because it's like, well, how much do you save and how much should you still enjoy? And so today what we wanted to really discuss and really just kind of say up front, listen, we just need to stop saving all of our money and enjoy some. We need to stop enjoying all of our money
And
and
save
save
some.
some. And so we're going to talk about this tension between those two schools of thoughts today, and we hope you will enjoy it.
So I guess before we jump straight into it, it's important for us to highlight the fact that actually we've been on both sides of this one. I remember when we first got married, we were very much, hey, we need to enjoy it. We need to live our lives. Like, what's saving? What's that? But then fast forward to when we start saving for our house, it was then like, actually, we can do the saving thing and we need to do it more often and be wiser with our money. But when that pandemic hit, it was literally, we are in save and invest mode. We're not thinking about anything else, not thinking about spending. But why do you think the narrative exists that people should spend and enjoy the money?
Yeah, so on the one side, as you say, which was us early in our marriage, was listen, spend your money, enjoy it. Don't even think about savings or investing at the moment. Even if you did, it's like trivial amounts, nothing that's really going to amount to much
Yeah.
money. Anyhow, you kind of really prioritize enjoying your money. And I think there's so much into this. There is so much into this. But for me, I would say it was really one of the things was upbringing. So, when you get so used to growing up in an environment where maybe you're told things like, we can't afford this right now, or not yet, or whatever, you then kind of start to grow up thinking, when I get my money, I'm going to make
Yeah,
sure,
that's
like,
true.
I'm going to make sure I'm just going to buy the things that I really want. I'm going to make sure I'm going to do the things that I've been wanting to do because I never had this opportunity, or I never had, the latest shoes or the latest fashion in school or whatever. So now that you're making your own money, you're kind of thinking, I need to make up for lost time or whatever
Exactly.
the case is. And you're being driven by this, like, okay, growing up, we never had.
Yeah.
So now that I have got money, I'm going to make sure that I've got stuff around me.
Yeah.
And because that's an example of the mindset. It's then thinking like, I don't have time to be putting money aside. Like, I need to
Yeah.
enjoy it because it might not be here tomorrow. So that's, for me, that's kind of one of the things. But on the other side is then actually realizing that there is this thought. Of course, it's true that tomorrow is not promised, right? There
Yeah,
is no
that's
guarantee
true.
that I'll still be here tomorrow or next year or in 10 years' time. So why bother saving?
Yeah.
It's like, why bother putting money aside only for somebody else to then
Enjoy it.
profit off of it and
Yeah.
enjoy it? Whereas myself, I'm not even enjoying my money. So I may as well, you know what? I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy myself every day, every moment. Right now, I'm going to do whatever I want with my money. And I think that's probably one of the things that comes in play with that.
Absolutely. I feel like I was very much like you, like growing up, like money wasn't always available in the house because my mom was a single parent. So then I always did that. Like I'd go to the shop, like, can I have that? She's like, no. Can I have that? No, we don't have the money for it right now. There's rice and chicken at home type of thing. Like, can I get this takeaway? No. So then I always used to tell myself, the day I move out of this house and have my own money, I'm going to enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? So you get in that mindset of, I've been telling myself this for the longest. Now that it's happening, I'm now doing it. I'm now enjoying it. I'm now enjoying my life. Like I can't come and kill myself type of thing. So I think it's one of those things that you get to a point where you're just like, as you say it as well, like tomorrow's not guaranteed. Like
Yeah,
you could really think, hey, I work hard. Like, why am I not allowed to enjoy my money?
absolutely.
So it's one of those things where you just want to enjoy the fruits of your labor, if we're being honest, or you just want to have things that maybe you've not had whilst you were growing up, or things that you missed out on whilst you were growing up, and then you get to a point where you're just like, yeah, I just want to enjoy this. And then, like for us, taking it back to before we got married, so I'd been at uni, and yeah, uni life is hard life sometimes. And then you come out of uni, then we're getting ready to get married, and then after we got like even that time where we're getting ready to get married, we were saving up a lot. So we weren't exactly just spending as and when we feel like it, or traveling as and when we feel like it. So for me, it was like the minute we got married and we're in our own home, I was like, nah, life was hard. I'm not trying to be living this hard life anymore. I just want to enjoy it. So that's where it came from for me.
And the thing is, like, I think the other thing is that when it comes to spending money and enjoying money, should I say, there kind of isn't a point where you think I've enjoyed enough.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
okay, let me stop. Last month was a crazy month, so this month I'm just gonna chill. Like that doesn't really exist. There's always something.
Something.
There's always something else to spend your money on. Something else you need to buy. Something somewhere else you need to go. Something else you just need to spend your money on. So I feel like because of that, it's hard to then really just kind of do a 180 without much work and effort.
Yeah.
And so sometimes, yes, it starts off with all of these things that we've mentioned, but other times it ends up growing into becoming a habit, like
Yeah.
something that you just can't stop doing. So it's like every month there's something new, there's something else every week, there's something that you need to buy, and it's just a non-stop cycle of spend, 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 and enjoy my money, enjoy my money, enjoy my money.
Yeah.
That you then don't think to yourself, let me just put the brakes on a little bit here. I've just been going 100 miles an hour, just spending my money all the time, sort of thing. So,
Yeah.
so there is that as well, that it does turn into a habit that becomes hard to break out of if
Absolutely.
you've been doing it for quite some time.
Yeah. Money, money, money. Something that a lot of us are not taught in school, but there's still an expectation for us to know what to do with it. And there's a lot to learn when it comes to money. You have to know how to manage it, how to save, where to invest, and loads more other things.
And this is exactly why we've put together the free 10-day money course for you to learn the foundations of how to be skilled with your finances. Over 10 days, we'll be sending you emails directly to your inbox for free, jam-packed with information from budgeting, debts, saving, insurance, investing, and so much more. Click the link in the description to sign up today, or go to skilledfinances.com/free money course.
All right, let's get back to today's discussion. So why do you think then the opposite exists? So
Which it
where you
does.
have people that are like, I need to save and invest for the future.
Yeah,
So why
yeah.
do you think that
It's like
part
save,
exists?
save, save.
Yeah.
Listen. Let's save money. Let's invest money. Let's build generational wealth. Let's
Yeah.
build like financial independence. Let's reach financial security.
Like
And
every
let's
conversation you
everything.
have when you're
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
should we go out?
No,
Nah,
no,
I
no,
need
no,
to
no.
save.
I'm saving. I'm saving money. Put
Shall we
money
plan a
aside.
staycation?
No, I'm saving
Yeah.
money. Man, there's so many reasons for this one as well. I think this is probably one of the things, right? For those who kind of switched from being a spender
Yeah.
to being a saver, then you start saving aggressively, almost as a way of like, I don't know, almost like atoning for the spending that you did. It's
Yeah.
kind of like, okay, you're looking back and be like, man, I spent so much money. I've got nothing to show for it.
Yeah.
I was in a position where, like, I think I'd been working for years and years at this point. I've been working for like 5, 8 years, somewhere there, and I've got nothing to show for my money.
Yeah.
Like, I've just been enjoying it and spending it. And so I turned aggressive, save, because I'm like, I've worked all of this
So
time,
hard.
earned all of that money, and I've got nothing to show for it.
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna save hard. I'm gonna invest hard, because I don't want to then get to the future and look back to today and think the same thing. I'd like to look back, say 10 years from now, look back to 2022 and say, I'm glad I saved that money. I'm
Yeah.
glad I invested that money, kind of
Absolutely.
thing. And I've got this to show for it. I've got that to show for it. I've put my money into this investment, into that asset over there, etc., etc. And I think that mindset then causes us to then be like, yeah, aggressively save and invest, forget spending, because I've
Yeah.
already done that. I
Yeah.
don't need to kind of do that again. So I think that's
Absolutely.
probably one of the things that works in that way.
I do think if we think about the pandemic, one of the things that really did happen is that we were all stuck at home.
Mm,
So, well, a lot of us were stuck at home anyway, and we found ourselves with all this extra money.
yeah.
And at that time, I think, I don't know if it was the fear of like even furlough, we were all in survival mode. All we wanted to do was survive and make it out of the pandemic. So you'd realize that you'd be hearing or speaking to a friend and they'd be like, oh my God, I've been furloughed. Or I know this person
Yeah.
that's been furloughed. Or this person's lost their job, this, that, and the other. And I don't know if it was that fear for some of us that then got us to a point of, no, we need to be saving aggressively because anything can happen in this moment. Yes, fortunately for some people, they were able to pay off debts and do other things with their money. But I think we went through such a tough time. The pandemic was such a tough time for a lot of people, but that then got like ingrained in us. We were like, no, I need to save and invest, save and invest, save and invest. Like if another pandemic was to come, I wouldn't want to find myself in
Exactly.
a similar position where
Exactly that.
I don't
Yep.
have anything, then I get furloughed, or I don't have anything and I lose my job. And I think it's then been hard to then
Mm,
come out of that
mm,
since the things have gotten a lot better. It's been
mm,
hard to then switch off or
mm,
to at least find some sort of middle ground and balance.
mm.
So I think that's why you then have the opposite.
Yeah, come back to what I was saying earlier on is that it then becomes a habit that becomes something that's hard to break out
Yeah.
of. That you've kind of conditioned yourself to save and invest aggressively in a
Yeah.
way that you're just not giving yourself any room for any enjoyment, and it just becomes like you kind of tell yourself the narrative that this is what being frugal means maybe,
Yeah.
and if I put my money aside, I'm gonna enjoy it later.
Yeah.
That's another narrative is that okay, I will enjoy my money later when it reaches a certain amount, when I cross over a certain threshold. And so I'm going to continuously aggressively save and invest my money
Yeah.
at this point until I get there. And for some people, that works. And to be fair, it does work. But I'll be honest, for me, it worked until it didn't work.
Yeah.
Like it was one of those ones. One day I just kind of thought to myself, "No, this is not it. Like it's just not adding up for me. I can't aggressively save and invest my money for the next God knows how long and then kind of wait for this one day I will enjoy it sort of
Yeah.
situation because it's like that for me just kind of didn't work.
Yeah.
And so that's that mindset. But some people are still in that mindset where it's like,
Yeah.
no, let me save and invest right now. I will think about enjoying my money
When I get to a
when I
certain
get to
point.
wherever
Yeah.
that is for them.
And I feel like I completely understand that viewpoint because I was
Absolutely.
there
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
I was that person that was like, listen, I'm going to work, I'm paying my bills, having that bit of spending money, but the rest is save and invest. And it became a habit, like he was saying, because we got so used to it, it
Exactly
became
that.
the norm. But then I got to a point where I was like, hold on a minute. I don't work to just save and invest. Like I'm not out here trying to kill myself, going to work 9 to 5 every day, like 5 days a week, to only then get to the weekend and stay in my house and not even get to enjoy life or really fully switch off. So then I was at that point where I was also thinking, God forbid, if I was gone tomorrow, who will live here and someone else is going to live here and enjoy my money and someone else will enjoy the fruits of my labor. So I think now the mindset has shifted a bit to actually find a good balance between saving and investing and also enjoying because none of us want to go work as hard as we do and not get to enjoy that and not get to enjoy the fruits of our labor. Like it's just not. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can guess that we are team do both.
Yeah.
Um, and it's not going to be an easy like once decision kind of
Yeah.
thing. Like it's a continuous effort to be like, okay, what's the right balance of saving and investing on the one side,
Yeah.
and then enjoying on the other side. And
Absolutely.
life happens in peaks and troughs. So there'll be times where sure you need to save more than you might give yourself to spend, and then there'll be times where the opposite happens as well. Where you probably think to yourself, actually, this year, this month, for example, could be a busy month. There's this birthday, there's this over here. I'm
Yeah.
going away on holiday, so I need a little bit more money than I probably normally would on a
Yeah.
normal month.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna invest or save a little bit less. And it's a continuous dial that you will continuously
Yeah.
monitor.
Absolutely.
It's really hard to kind of say, okay, I will always save X percentage of my income and I will always spend X percentage of my income every single month. I mean, if you're able to do that, honestly, that's like top notch. That's like, yeah, you're doing wonders. But realistically speaking, at least for us, we're still in the stages where we're trying to like We're moving the dial every month, just trying to figure
Yeah.
out what works for this month, what works for the next month, what works for the next month, etc., until we get to a point. But we are team both, and we think you should do both. So, what are some of the tips that you would say, or one tip that you would say helps you to decide how much to save and invest and how much to spend in at the same time?
I guess it goes back to what you just said, which is it's just looking at what's coming up in the next month or in the next 3 months, for example.
Mm,
So I will know, like, okay, your birthday is coming up, or my birthday is coming up, or our anniversary is coming up. And then I'll know, like, we need to travel for this, that, and the other. So it's just then looking at the budget and then saying, okay, let's allocate more towards spending because there's a birthday or there's something. But then in the months where maybe there's not genuinely nothing going on, I'm then like, actually, I wouldn't want to just waste the money. So
sure.
let's save more this month.
Mm,
So we're finding that balance of actually we can still enjoy ourselves
mm.
and then we can actually still save and invest.
So you're talking about like looking ahead effectively
Yeah,
and
look
like
ahead. Like,
thinking ahead,
yeah,
planning.
think ahead and know what's coming up. So,
Yeah,
but then also, it's also good to even have that miscellaneous fund because there's always something that's going to come up,
of
even when
course.
you've not planned for it. But I think that's what's definitely helped me when it
Yeah,
comes to that.
fair play.
What about you?
For me, do you know what I think what helps me is keeping in mind the vision.
Right.
The reason why I'm saving and investing.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of where I step in because I think, as I said earlier on, spending is something that you will always spend your money. It's
Right.
it's it's the easiest thing to
To
do.
do.
Like it's it's scary how easy it is to spend all your money. You
But
could
then there's also always something that you could spend your money on.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Like
yeah.
it's so scary. You could literally say to yourself, "Okay, this month, I don't know, I'm gonna see if I can spend £100 or £500, whatever the number is," and that could be gone in an instant. And you're there
Yeah.
like, "Whoa, this was meant to last me the whole
The
month,"
month.
kind of thing. So on the spending side, I feel like for me, I'd rather approach it from the saving and investing side. So it's
Yeah.
like, okay, what is it that I'm saving for? What is it that I'm investing for? What are my long term plans
Right.
here? And how much this month am I going to comfortably put towards that? And then I'll spend the rest.
Right.
But then to your point, it's then thinking ahead, isn't it? It's like, okay,
Yeah.
this month, what's happening? What's going on? What are the things that we might need to spend money
Yeah.
on? Um, which is kind of the spending side. Whereas on the investing side, for me, it's like, let's not stop that. Because if I skip a month of saving and investing, it's easy to then skip 2 months. And it's easy to then,
Yeah.
before you know it, 6 months have gone by and you haven't
Absolutely.
saved or invested a
Yeah.
penny. And so it's kind of making sure that, okay, as much as this is a busy month, this, that, and the other needs money, we can still do it in moderation, right?
Absolutely.
We don't have to literally pay big amounts of money just because it's a birthday. We can still enjoy your birthday or my birthday at a very reasonable rate of money
Yeah.
without going too much money, without spending too much money, and still give us that room to actually still save and invest something
Yeah.
because we can't forget the fact that there is a future here.
Yeah, we definitely have to think about the future. I guess it goes back to balance, doesn't it? Just
Balance is it.
finding that balance. And like you say, we never have a month where we don't save. So we
Of
still
course.
save. It might be reduced savings,
Mm,
but we still save.
mm,
However, we're also now gradually learning to enjoy ourselves. Like I said before, I can't come here and kill myself. Like I need to enjoy my life. I need to enjoy the fruits of my labor. And it reminds me, we recently actually had this conversation with some of our friends. So they came over to the house and we're both sat here like we've we've been through that part of life where we enjoyed living, right? And then we switched to the save, 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 invest. Now we're both looking at each other like, so what do we do now? Because we're stuck in this whole save, 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 invest, and we're not really getting to enjoy our money. And I guess it was crazy to realize that actually there's other people out there
absolutely, man.
that also feel how we feel. And funnily enough, we were both like, you know what? We need to find a balance, but how do you find that balance? So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Well, and the final thing I would add is that I think there is one of the things that I had to personally, for me, one of the things I'm having to like switch my mindset with is that there is joy in enjoying your money,
yeah,
right? I think there is such a strong, loud narrative that you should feel guilt
yeah,
for enjoying your money or for
yeah,
spending your money. And so you should save and invest because that's the right thing to do,
yeah,
type of thing. But it's like, actually, no, like it's fine if I spend my money.
Yeah.
Like, actually, it's actually okay if I spend it. And not that I needed your permission to do it, but because I've been told so many times that it's, the guilty thing, it's
Yeah.
guilty pleasures,
Yeah.
it's spending money when you shouldn't spend money, save money instead kind of thing. And it's like, no, actually, now I'm like, nah, I disagree with that. Listen, enjoy spending your money and enjoy it full well. Spend your money, every single penny of it that you've allocated to spending,
Yeah.
enjoy that completely with no guilt, knowing full well that I've actually saved some money and invested
Yeah.
some
At the
money
same
at the same
time.
time.
Yeah.
And that's the key here that we're talking about, the balance. So if you're in a position where you're on one side of the scale, all we're saying is incorporate the other side. Whichever side you're on, incorporate the other side to some degree. Over time, you will find a way that works for you, the right balance that works for you,
Absolutely.
and the right amounts that you feel comfortable
Mm.
kind of splitting between those two areas. But either way, we definitely think that there is a place for both in your budget. So make sure that your budget does not just is not so skewed or leaning towards one side only, but let
Yeah.
it lean towards, yes, you're paying your bills, and yes, you're repaying your debts, but you're also giving yourself some allocation to enjoy the present, but also some allocation to save and invest for your future.
So if you found value in what we've had to say today, don't forget to hit that like button and let us know in the comments, like, which side of the scale are you on? Are you on the save, 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 or are you actually on the spend, spend, spend? Or are you now coming to a place where you're like, actually, I need to have some balance? And if you're one of those people that's like, I need to have some balance, let us know how you got there, because
Right.
I know it can be hard, like he was saying, like you feel guilty at times. So let us know in the comments how you got there and how you're finding your journey.
Yeah. So thank you so much for joining us today. Listen, enjoy the money that you are going to give yourself to enjoy, and also enjoy putting money aside towards your saving and investments, because both of them will serve you in the
Yeah.
long run in a good way. But thank you so much for joining us today, and we can't wait to see you soon.